Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Everybody doing good? Yes? We ready to rock and roll? Are we ready to rock and roll? I want to see some hellos. I want to see some excitement. I want to see some people fired up. All right, Sloan, good to see you, girl. So I was just telling VIP. So you guys are watching that are not on the Zoom call, you should have fear of missing out. You should have fear of missing out. Join me in VIP.com, right? Join me in VIP.com. You should definitely have some FOMO because when I do this, it's awesome because I go live on the social channels, but I also drop back and we do some hot seat coaching and solve the world's problems with all these ambitious entrepreneurs on Zoom, which is not being streamed because it's their personal stuff, right? And it's a way that we can just get down and dirty on their business. So if you want to be with us for the month of August on Join Me in VIP.com, you can go do that right now. You can open up another phone or open up a browser. Join Me in VIP.com. Go do that, okay? So I was saying to VIP, or I was about to say to VIP, is literally this is a standard framework. This is not what I'm going to teach you today. But this is a standard framework, and everybody in my company, what I realize is that I teach entrepreneurs how to become effective and become financially free. And everybody does it at the speed in which they're willing to take the coaching. Ouch, right? The speed in which they're willing to take the coaching. And otherwise, don't justify why it can't work for you. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? And so first of all, I figured out how to run my life in a way that I could, have big visions, grow amazing things, work on my own trust issues or insecurities or confidence challenges or whatever it is that I'm facing. I know you're facing them too. Am I right? Yes. Put yes if you've got some insecurities somewhere, right? Put yes if you've got some insecurities somewhere. It's important that you look at the chat right now because you need to break the idea that there's something even remotely in the way of you creating a result. You need to know that we all feel that way. Right? And so when you know that we all feel that way, you can do it messy. Somebody put the word messy, right? Like just do it messy. Somebody put the word messy. So what I've been doing over, I guess, the last month is I've been taking a non-revenue generating division and made it revenue generating, like an expense in my business, and made it revenue generating. So in other words, a department, it could be a virtual assistant for you or whatever that looks like. And I took a non revenue generating division and I thought to myself, how do I make this generating? Right? And so how I did that is how many of you guys have given advice to someone you love about a relationship thing or a career thing? And it's like you're talking to your blue in the face, they just never take your advice. Any of you guys put I have in the chat? Does anybody have that person in your life? Maybe they're not in your life anymore because you're like tired of giving advice and they never take it, right? Or maybe you can't get rid of them because they're related to you and you ain't getting rid of them. And so you're stuck with giving advice that never gets taken, right? I'm so glad I'm not the only person that has those people in your life. Okay, so in entrepreneurship, you can't rely on the fact of working long hours or justifying, I work so hard on this and the rug gets pulled out from underneath you. That doesn't fly in my books, right? Like if you're coaching with me, I don't give you a badge of honor for working hard. I give you a badge of honor for figuring out the problem, getting the result. So I put the word result in the chat. If you want results, put result in the chat. This is really big. Because there's many of you guys who are used to working your tail off and feeling disappointed. It could be with somebody like letting you down, or it could be honestly because you just haven't descheduled yourself enough. In other words, you haven't created enough space in your life that actually, like, I can already hear some of you guys, Shanda, I'm actually inefficient with my time. And so I actually have more space than you know that I don't fill with productive activity or money-making activity. And I'm like, I hear you, but if you kind of putter through your day, that can stop right now by scheduling priority focus time. So we scheduled priority focus time and we're not through the whole company yet, but it is becoming a non-negotiable. In fact, we are getting to the point where we will start reporting on each division end of priority focus time. And I'm not looking for what I worked on. I'm looking for what I completed. right? Do you guys get that? Because if we track what people are working on, I mean, it's just a lot. But a lot doesn't get paid, right? Results is why you value someone. It's like, I can rely on you that you own that and you hit it no matter what. So one of the things we're doing with our sales team right now, it's connected to standards, write the word standard down. And I want you to ask yourself, in an area of your life, where do you need to raise your standard? I'm gonna give you 3 things that are gonna drastically change your world as an entrepreneur, but I'm gonna give you this framework first. I write it down. The framework is, you need to have a target. So in our sales department, 1 enrollment today. And so they just started with me today on priority focus time. I'm giving them 90 minutes, not 2 hours, but I'm giving them 90 minutes. Everybody else so far, I'm giving 2 hours, a 2-hour block that's blocked out every day. Keith, I hope you're still doing it, right? Like, priority focus time is a non-negotiable. Jonathan, I hope it's locked in your calendar, right? Because you will roll into ineffectiveness without it. And so if you want to be a baller, you got to be a baller on your schedule, right? So during priority focus time, I literally was closing the gap with all our Bring a Friend people. Jonathan, has our Bring a Friend text message gone out yet, or is it going out soon?
In 20 minutes, it's scheduled.
So I worked on that. It's an awesome off the charts marketing pocket coaching that's going out to everybody who's playing our Bring a Friend contest right now, right? And so I created pocket coaching, Monday pocket coaching. All of this stuff is in the same genre. Do you get what I'm saying? So you got to have a time frame. So mine, I do 90 minutes personally, but I have most people on 2-hour chunks. I want to get up to 4 hours of priority focus time, which absolutely forces me to change my day, right? Like, it absolutely runs me into problems with my executive assistant and people who want to meet with me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really does. And my desire to be done work at 4 o'clock so that I can, like, literally date my son and my husband, and then have some focus time for myself. Because if my husband and my son take up all my free time, then I am resentful, and that's a leadership challenge on me. So it is untrue there isn't enough time in a day. There's ineffective people running ineffective schedules. Okay, because I've got 2 companies and we just took on a 3rd. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this is not, like, you can do it. I promise you, and you don't have to be a superhero. Okay, it's how you do this. So if I have 90 minutes times 5 in a week, right? If I have 90 minutes times 5 in a week, where I'm working on the priority, now the next level of ninja is, what am I putting into that 90 minutes? What's the most pressing thing? Because if I don't schedule it, so everybody write this down, schedule it in your calendar, same time every day. And then put in that block what you are completing, not working on. Working on is ineffective. You guys get it? You are not going to make anybody in your life give you any sort of accolade. I can't even say that word. They're giving you no gratitude or praise. They're not acknowledging you, respecting you, cherishing you because you worked your ass off. Okay, because welcome to the world these days. Everybody's working hard. People are going to look at you different. You're going to have more authority, and you're definitely going to make more money, because you can look at your priority focus time as, did I put money-making activity in this? It's like the Bring a Friend contest right now. It's absolutely effing insane for the people playing not to try and win it. Why? They're speaking on Zone Stage. They have my marketing team, which makes me millions, working on a funnel for them. They'll stay with you for 6-10 months if they need to make sure that funnel's working. My point, it's so insane to me that somebody wouldn't grab that and say, I'm going to spend priority focus time to win it. Now listen to me. I'm going to sell out the event regardless. And when Bring a Friend's over, now the prizes I gave, some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, so just grab onto the idea of what I'm saying, is when you have a big thing that can move the lever in your business, right? Like my friend Bedros owns Fit Body Boot Camp, and it was just a few million. I know that sounds weird, but he was like $3 million ahead of me, but you can do that in a month, right? You can do that in an event, right? And so like you can catch up like that, right? And so he was like 3 million ahead of me. And then he went to 100 million. It was like super fast. And I was like, what did you do? Well, it's not how he did it. It's who he hired that was competent. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? It's because who's run priority focus time well? They're not just busy doing stuff, because that's how you deprioritize and you get into busy energy. You must prioritize and still hit the mark on all of them. And if you have 5 priority focus times in a week, you can literally chunk it. And I'm telling you, you'll have extra space in the week going, how do I amplify that? So like for me, I came up with a strategy today in priority focus time. I did all my pod coaching and I came up with a strategy, all my pod coaching, by the way, for the month, right? When it comes to Monday pocket coaching, I came up with my bring a friend stuff. I created some audio newsletters. You guys hear what I'm saying? So I feel accomplished right now, which is why you have fire coming out of me, is because I feel competent because of priority focus time. So you guys, who are my people that are struggling? Who are my people right now that are struggling with feeling confidence? Let's be honest, just put a C. Put a C in the chat. Who really does struggle with confidence? Put a C in the chat. Okay, so I'm telling you how to get it. It's not a book that you read. It's how you run your day. And this builds really fast, okay? And so I came up with a strategy this morning where I said to Jonathan, let's do this. Let's give this free thing away. And then let's do a one-time offer for Zone Event to be able to get a ticket at a discounted price. That's a one-time offer only. So when people get that free offer, one time only. So now we can send that to our list, because yes, we did the work and built a list. We can go find other people. So Jonathan, I would like you to Google today. This is what it looks like. I would like you to Google today and find us 5 different companies that email out, you can pay to email. One of them, selfgrowth.com. I guarantee you probably the Daily Ohm. Find me 5 companies that we can pay them to email that free gift to. And then when they download that free gift, on the next page, it'll be a Zone Event offer. That will truly be a one-time offer for them to jump into. Do you guys see what I'm saying? That's priority focus time. It's like, how do I sell out by September? That's the goal. I don't know if I can hit it, just like you don't know if you can hit your goals, right? It's an astronomical goal. It's a freaking massive ballroom, right? We're going for 3,000 people at this event. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, where you're going, you've never been. But if we worry about, can I do it? Then we actually don't structure priority focus time to work on it. And I guarantee you, just like there's 50 ways to find the money for anything you want in your life, there are 50 ways to crush it on your goal, but you have to complete the execution, which is why priority focus time is execution time. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Is this helpful? Put yes, if this is helpful. Now, here's the thing. Why am I doing it with my company for 2-week stretches in the divisions? So in other words, I take a division, I run with them for 2 weeks. And after week 1, I add another division in and run with them, right? Like, why would I do that? Because I'm literally holding them accountable to do it. Because it takes 3 days to get priority focus time efficient if I'm coaching you, right? To get it efficient. Because you believe, and so does my team, they believe that they have to multitask on a bunch of different things. So here's what the sales team's doing. Target is 1 enrollment a day. They won't hit that. They will by the time I'm done with them. But they won't hit that. Imagine if I did priority focus time with you for 2 weeks on sales. You'll hit it. You'll get used to it, because you have to make all the decisions you need to do. Then you got to come up with a formula. What's the formula we're going to work? Follow-up. 80% of the money is in the follow-up. So I retaught that to them today on what follow-up looks like, because it doesn't look like, hey, Deborah, I know we talked today, and have you thought about it yet? Or did you find the money to join Meant to Be Live? Like, you know what? That's not follow-up. That's like, yeah. That just doesn't feel good for the person following up or the person receiving it, right? So I taught them. How many guys would like to know what that is? I can't train it today because I got to stay on the training, right? But I can train it tomorrow if you come to Shanda On Demand. You guys come to Shanda On Demand tomorrow. Honestly, if you're watching this and you have not paid the $30 to be in VIP, we're going to lock down VIP so it's $30 people only, right? For this whole month for 30 bucks. Go to joinmeinvip.com. I'm telling you, it'll be worth it. Because when I train that tomorrow on what I taught them on follow-up, we'll debrief it in the VIP room. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Yes? Right? So if you want to jump into VIP and you've lost the URL, just put VIP in the chat. It's joinmeinvip.com. It's 30 bucks to join us in the Zoom room. But if you can't find the VIP, if you forgot it, just put VIP and somebody on the team will message you, okay? So this is their formula. So for 90 minutes, I gave them a time frame. So there's a target, 1 enrollment a day, a formula, which is we're going to focus on follow-up because 80% of enrollments come from that. So say I did a challenge online, I made an offer today. It like literally the cart's not going to close for 5 days. In 5 days is where most of my sales come. They don't come on day one. I might have 7 enrollments or I might have 30 enrollments. But by the time I'm done, no shit, I'll have 150 to 200. So you tell me that follow-up doesn't work. But if you don't know how to do it, you're dead in the water, right? It feels like a grind, you're dead in the water. You need to know the formula on how to do that and do that effectively. Those are real numbers, by the way. 7 to 27, 30 people will be the first set of buyers. And then no less than 140 or 150, but sometimes it's like 250, 260, will within 5 days buy the same product. Not wild? How many of you guys have ever heard an offer and had to sleep on it? Put me, right? And everybody look at the chat. How many of you guys have heard an offer before and you had to sleep on it? You had to think about it. You had to ask somebody, you had to think about it. You had to contemplate it. You had to dust off the old defeat and get real like recommitted to something. Put me in the chat if you've ever had to spend at least a day thinking about it. So how many of you guys have a good follow-up sequence? Even on emails, Black Friday offers, do you have a follow-up sequence? Oh, yes, I do. I send 3 emails. We send like 15, 20. Oh, that's pushy. Okay, so I'll own the space of a millionaire and you can hang out and struggle if that's what you'd like. Because people need you to hold their hand and hold them accountable. You need it and I need it. Right, there's a great story in the Who, Not the How book. And it's about finding who's, not hows. Everybody wants hows that are in poverty. But what you don't understand is you need to make money to hire the who's, right? Because that's where the speed and the success comes from. And there's a story about Michael Jordan and how Michael Jordan never won world championships until Pittman came in. When Pittman came in, he started winning, another basketball player, started winning, for you guys who don't know, started winning championships. Why? You got a team together that work together. Your follow-up is part of your team and it needs to be done right. Then I give them a time frame, which is 90 minutes, and they'll do that 5 times. I meet them 2 times a day. It's only 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Why do I meet my team like that right now? I only do it for 2 weeks per division. Because if I do that, I can find their human moment of what happened in between hitting the result. It will take them 3 days to all get enrollment today. And then I have to stay with them for 2 weeks so that their belief system catches up. And I'll have another couple human moments where some people won't hit the mark. But for the most part, they'll just all get consistent on enrollment today. And then I let them go to their sales manager. Now we have a new standard. And that standard will run for a long time. And then they'll hire new people. And that standard will start to go down. And then we'll have to do the system again. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when the team runs at the all-star level, they'll all run like that for a long time. And then you'll hire a bulk of people who are not used to that standard, or they'll rise up to that standard. We'll see. But I would be willing to bet we have to do this every 6 to 10 months for 2 weeks. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Yes? Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 things that I want to make sure that you nail. Okay. And I'm going to move to you guys in VIP. Has this been good so far? Yes? I hope that you've actually already scheduled priority focus time in your calendar. If you haven't, you need a coach. Because I am my team's coach. Do you know what I mean? If you haven't actually gone into your calendar yet, you have such a delay in what you're doing that you need to get out of comatose and get into waking up. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here because you have an important calling on your life, and I want to see you make it. I really do. And so, listen, men are respected when they're tough, women are bitches. It just is what it is. But like, I'm telling you that if you haven't already gone in your calendar and scheduled priority focus time, at least for the rest of this week, and if you don't schedule it next week, you won't do it. I promise you won't do it. If you haven't done it, then I'm telling you, you're already behind and you need to tighten it up. So go in your calendar right now and just put it in for the rest of the week. Put 90 minutes somewhere. It's better if it's the same time every day. If you don't have it the same time every day, it will get flawed and you will fall off track. So you might need to renegotiate some of the commitments you already had and see if you could move them to keep your priority focus in. Okay? So here are the 3 things that I want to tell you on why people don't commit. Write this down. Number 1, the reason why people don't commit is because they're not sure it's going to work. Okay, so welcome to the world. None of us, I don't know if Zone's going to be sold out by September. But I will tell you that I will bank on me that it will be. Because I have priority focus time, I can't get away from my commitment and be too busy to hit it. The reason why we don't hit our goals is because we're too busy working everything. Life is pulling on you, friends are pulling on you, family. Some of you guys have kids, some of you guys have spouses that are a full-time job to keep them motivated. You get what I'm saying? Like you got stuff, we got stuff, we all got it. Some of you guys have sicknesses, illnesses that throw you off. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got it. You've got to realize that everybody's got it and there is a way. The only reason why we get disappointed is because we don't attack things with any sort of certainty. We're unsure. So I want you to write unsure. Okay? So the coaching on this is, what is the thing that you're delayed on right now? Because you're unsure. But it's okay. We don't need to hang out and unsure. Like we're clear. We're unsure it's going to work. Right? So make a certain decision today. What could you work on in priority focus time that you can complete? Not work on, but complete. That's connected to making a decision for that. You guys got it? Yes? Okay. So make that decision right now. Put it down on a piece of paper. I'm gonna make a decision on my pricing. And I'm gonna map it all out. I'm gonna write the table of contents for my book, and I'm gonna be done in priority focus time. Okay? Got it? Number 2, the reason why we don't get our results is because we have a fear of making a mistake. Now let me unleash and cut every spiritual warfare that is connected to your heart, your mind, and your body right now, because this is truth. And when you hear truth, it has the possibility of unleashing you. Okay? So the fear of making a mistake is literally this idea. It's this idea connected to your identity. Okay? So there 100% is no success without mistakes. There's no success without mistakes. But the mistakes give you a new thing to solve the problem. Can you guys hear that? So when I and you make a decision, we commit relentlessly in priority focus time to completing something, it's going to by default move us forward. By default, we get a new mistake or a new problem. Can you guys hear that? Say yes if you can hear that. So in priority focus time, if my goal is to complete something that's a priority, then by default, that will move us forward, which means you have a new problem, which essentially you had to have made a mistake to get a new problem. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you can wrap your mind around the mistakes, like doing it messy, but the mistakes actually they're a clue that you've moved to a new destination. And so the way that you look at that is you just grab that, put it in priority focus time the next day and solve it. So you keep inching this thing forward, and then you will have really the top of your industry result. See, the problem is that people actually have this identity connected to it. Like somehow without consciously thinking about it, we think like the Ed Millett's or the Shanda Sumters or the Tony Robbins or the Brendan Burchards, like it's like you forget that it is filled with a million mistakes. And you just cannot allow yourself to make yourself wrong. Therefore, nobody else will be able to make you wrong. So if somebody comes and criticizes you, be like, I'm proud of myself that I took some result. I'm proud of myself that I took action. So I'm just going to solve that problem now. Ball it up. Like when somebody in your life criticizes you for the mistake, you just own the fact that you had courage. And courage is directly connected to speed and success. Okay, so the way you handle that and shut it down is to not get in a fight with them. Is to say, you know what, I'm proud of myself that I actually had courage. Now tomorrow I'm going to solve that problem. But thanks for your feedback. Yeah, I mean, it's just re-identifying the problem that you should be focusing on priority focus time. They're just helping you have certainty. Like the devil's trying to use it to throw you off, but heaven says, God says, you know what? Let's just turn that thing made to hurt you into something that like catapults you. And so you just take that and you solve that priority focus time, becomes your focus. Okay, so your priority focus time is always working on completing and getting to the other side of the problem. Does that change the scope of looking at the problems? So when you have the structure in your calendar where you've got it there, you no longer take forever to get to a destination. It will come a lot faster. Last thing is, and I already touched on it, is the third thing is lack of speed comes from lack of courage. So you go back up the line and go, where am I not making a non-negotiable commitment because I'm unsure about making a mistake? If this is the right decision, I'm actually afraid of making the mistake. Are you guys hearing me? Yes. And so you can just go right back up that chain and you can coach yourself. We have a whole Facebook group called Coach Yourself to Success. You can coach yourself to success, right? Which by the way, will also make you a better student for a coach. The best relationship, like a Michael Jordan and Pittman and their coach, the best relationship is for you to own your own destination and not give somebody else, you know, the authority over your success, right? And so when you're coaching yourself like that, you come to your coaching scenarios and say, hey, I'm like everybody that I make an offer to has a money issue. So I'm obviously not laying out the value good enough. Can you help me with that? Like, you know where the problem is. But if you're hiding from the problem because something in you thinks that there's something wrong with you, then you're missing the boat of courage on the top. Do you know why billionaires usually don't tell people about their personal life? Because they're so ripped apart by the audience of people that will never get there because they're still judging themselves for the mistakes. That's a mic drop. So if you want people ahead of you to open up and show you how they got there, you need to show up in a trustworthy way and just know where the problem is and be like, I need to get better at this. Do you have any advice on that? And now you're a baller. When you come with, oh, I make offers and like nobody has money, the world's so broke. You're such a victim that nobody's successful, even a coach, really wants to coach you. And that's the hard knock truth, my friends. There are people that come into our ecosystem that are such victims and so complaining about the world not feeding them right, that they haven't owned their power yet. And every coach knows that that is a therapy session that isn't going anywhere fast. And so anybody who's great at what they do, they don't want to spend their time on that emotion. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes. I know this isn't right. I know that it should be different, but it's just not. I don't know anybody that could help you get to the next level fast that will ever stand for a coffee. They will leave the table of drinking the latte with you early because they will have something they need to get to before they will ever sit through the struggle of listening to a victim story. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So the world has not done you wrong. There is nobody that's actually really letting you down, because you have a choice to be in those relationships and you have a choice to set standards. And if you back up on everything that's not working, you can see where you caused that result. And when you learn from that and own your power on that, now we can do some work, right? Now we can get you to the levels that you're capable of because you're back in ownership. If you don't own your results and you don't own your life, then I'm telling you, you're renting it. And if you're renting it, you have no authority. Did you guys get that? Some of you guys need to re-listen to this again. Okay, you guys, so tomorrow, I'm gonna show you the 80% formula and why 80% of the money comes from follow-up, okay? So I'm gonna teach it on the live tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 Eastern. I'll do it in about 20 minutes. That's my goal. I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes. And then you guys in VIP, I'm gonna come back to you on the Zoom room in the VIP experience of Shanda On Demand. So what's the URL? Somebody go post it in the chat. What's the URL to come on to the VIP Shanda On Demand? What's the URL? Come on, you guys. Oh, of course, Jonathan pops it out, right? It's joinmeinvip.com. Joinmeinvip.com. I'm going to flip to those guys right now. Anybody who is not invested in VIP starting tomorrow will not be in the VIP room. Okay. And then we're going to go deep for the month of August. Okay. So much love. Are we good? Ready for some advancing the cash flow tomorrow? Do the work that I shared with you today. All right, social media, I'll talk to you soon. Take me off, Keith.